In the US, parents are responsible for 61% of all child murders under the age of 5. And more often than not, it is committed by the mother. In the US are 8 infants out of every 100,000. Which may not seem like a lot, but considering the fact that there are roughly 3.8 million babies born each year in the US, that's about 308 babies a year victim to infanticide, losing their life before it even starts. Why does this happen, and how can it be prevented? Let's talk. All of us have known a few new mothers. A lot of people who've even seen postpartum depression firsthand. Suffering from anxiety, disinterest in daily activities, anger, hopelessness, insomnia, unwanted thoughts, and more. While postpartum is very common, there are concerning effects that should not be taken lightly. The most important things to look out for are severe depression, mania, psychosis, mental illness, and deliriousness. These may not all be easy to identify, so let's dive into the symptoms. Depression is so common lately, it's hard to know when there's a serious cause for concern, especially because depression is a normal effect of childbirth. But when should you be concerned to the point of intervention? A telltale sign of severe depression that could lead to infanticide is whether the mother contemplates suicide. Some mothers may even want to take their child with them, not because they don't love them, but because they want to protect them from the world. It is also known as manic depression or bipolar disorder, is characterized by periods of extreme highs and extreme lows, going from euphoria and excitement to hopeless depression. These mood swings can happen as often as every day or as rarely as once a year. Mania is especially hard to navigate for others as it is completely unpredictable, usually without any warning signs at all. All-consuming delusions and hallucinations, usually of terrible circumstances that are not reality. Psychosis is especially hard to spot as those affected will keep their ideas to themselves in fear. Some mothers may even have false ideas about the safety of their baby, thinking they have to save their baby from a dire situation, when in reality, they harm the child. Illness is also very common, and even though there are screenings before and after childbirth, many important symptoms are often overlooked or undetected. Minor forms of mental illness are very dangerous if left untreated, as they can develop into more severe conditions like severe depression, psychosis, or mania as discussed earlier. It's a disturbance to your mental facilities, usually caused by an overload of stress. Symptoms of delirium can include disorientation, confusion, hallucinations, and so much more. When people suffer from delirium, they often find it hard to stay in the moment and control their actions, which can lead to catastrophic events. Illnesses to look out for are scary, but how do they lead to something as awful as infanticide? The most common motives are altruistic, acutely psychotic, due to fatal maltreatment, unwanted child, or spouse revenge. Let's get into it. Altruistic motive infanticide is committed out of a false sense of love, when the mother believes that death is truly the best thing for their child. Maybe the mother wants their child to see heaven, or they don't want their child to suffer a harsh world, especially if the mother plans to take her own life as well. Psychotic intention also fits into altruism if the mother believes she is saving her child from a fate worse than death due to delusions and hallucinations. However, this is different from an acute where the mother kills her child with no discernible motive, usually in psychosis or delirium. There may have been a hallucination or some internal cause, but it's impossible to make sense of the mother's actions. Motive is exactly how it sounds. Death is not the anticipated outcome, but due to repeated neglect or abuse, it is infanticide. It may be one terrible accident, or it could be suffering across the entirety of the infant's life. Heartbreaking motive is the unwanted child motive. Maybe the child was born with an unexpected disability, or maybe the mother did not even want a child at all. Either way, instead of giving the baby up for adoption or any other route, the mother decides to commit an infanticide. The last main motive of infanticide is spouse revenge, which would be in reaction to an infidelity or some other fight between spouses. In reaction to the fight, the mother takes the child's life in some attempt to get back at their spouse in some horrible way. Of infanticide, it is more clear how these normal symptoms of postpartum or underlying conditions can turn into a motive for infanticide. Now we can get into prevention. The most important way to prevent infanticide is reporting something, and how to do that will be explained later. Symptoms of severe depression or suicidal thoughts, symptoms of mania or bipolar disorder, symptoms of psychosis, or symptoms of delirium. Also look out for signs of abuse or neglect, or severe distress in parental relationships. If seen are not that serious, then try talking to the family and offering a helping hand. If you believe the household has serious warning signs, then report it to childwelfare.gov. You can learn about further ways to help on the site as well. If the situation has already grown dangerous, do not hesitate to call 911, the best source for immediate action. Help be a part. Thank you.